This is BBC Radio 4. Our afternoon drama now is an intriguing mystery exploring identity, fraud and self-belief.
I think you should see him and make up your own mind.
OK, well, let's have him in.
How do you want me to introduce you, as Mr. Sullivan, or...?
I don't mind.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose on earth. A time to be born and a time to die. Here in this last act, in sorrow but without fear, in love and appreciation, we commit my mother, Peggy, to her natural end.
We used to have a dog.
Called Jasper.
What else do you remember?
Well, this house. The way the banister curves coming down into the hallway. And there used to be pictures of sailing ships along the landing.
Oh, there still are.
Is there anything you didn't expect? Anything that's changed?
This room. Didn't it used to be much smaller?
Till it was extended out into the garden, yes. Sorry, dear, I'm supposed to be leaving this to you.
What was the first school you attended?
St. Joseph's Infants. It was run by nuns and had a big statue of the Blessed Virgin as you went in.
There was a poster in your bedroom.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. And you had a counterpane on the bed.
Like a racing car. Blue with number 4 on it.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Well done. I was proud of you.
Auntie Miriam.
You spoke very nicely. I should book you to do mine when the time comes. And who's this?
This is Laura, my fiancée. Auntie Miriam, Mum's sister.
Fiancé?
Yes.
Nobody tells me anything. Pleased to meet you.
And you. Just a shame it's under these circumstances.
We never exactly fell out, me and Robert's mother, but we were never close. She didn't like being disagreed with, and I tended to do that.
I got the impression she was quite a private person.
Secretive. She'd tell you nothing.
Here we are.
Oh, thank you. Isn't he good?
We're getting better.
Now, Robert, I'm going to tell you something about your mother, which you might not want to hear, but it's the truth and can't hurt her now.
Yeah?
You were how old when she left your father?
4.5.
So you won't remember much about it?
No.
But she'll have told you things, I dare say. Like how she had to leave him because he used to knock her about.
She did. Yeah.
It was what she told everybody. But tell a lie as often as you like, it won't make it true.
What, you saying that...
Your father never raised his hand to her, much as he must have been tempted.
So why did she leave?
She was a very vain woman. Thought every man was in love with her. Anyway, she fell for this one. He was called Gordon something or other. You don't remember?
No.
A real flash Harry. Of course it didn't last 2 minutes, as I told her it wouldn't. But then it was too late for her to go back. Your father had slammed the door. So she brought you up on her own, telling you it was all his fault.
So then why hasn't Robert's father ever got in touch?
Laura's a journalist. Asks a lot of questions.
Sorry. Should I not?
He was as pig-headed as she was. Once you'd gone, that was it.
You want me to say yes, don't you?
It's your decision.
You know, we talked about a DNA test.
We did, and I think it's an excellent idea. Then you'll know for sure.
If your auntie's right.
If?
I just think, what a terrible shame. You've gone all that time without knowing your father when it needn't have been like that.
I do know that Miriam never got on with Mum.
So you mean her version can't be trusted? Well, OK.
And it seems so unfair to wait till Mum's dead, then start accusing her.
Ain't nobody's accusing.
Well, it felt like it to me. And I'd rather we didn't go there. Forget it, yeah?
I never thought I'd be doing this, taking my son to a test match.
Hey, I thought I was taking you.
But are you sure you're up to it?
Go listen to it. Now, the doctor
I
said...
know.
I'm in remission. He doesn't even want to see me for another 6 months.
Which is brilliant.
Even better if we manage to win.
Enjoy yourselves.
Look.
Who is it?
Look on the back.
Gordon, June 7th, 1987.
Gordon, that's him. The man your mum ran off with.
You've been going through her stuff?
But this proves what your auntie said. There was another man, and that was why she left your father.
I wouldn't say it proves.
But it makes it more likely.
Mum's dead. I don't want us dredging up stories about her.
I'm not.
Here. That's your evidence. Gone. Now, can we just forget it?
My great-grandfather established all this in 1898.
So, my great-great-grandfather.
Yes.
Wow.
But you mustn't think I set out to find you simply because I needed someone to take over.
I don't.
Now, you might not be interested. You might have dreams of your own.
I feel like I'm living a dream these last few weeks.
Yes, rather like that for me, too.
Hello?
Hi, Miriam. It's Laura, Robert's fiancée. We met at his mother's funeral.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Hi. Only I've been thinking, you knew Robert's father.
I did, yes.
Do you think he's the sort of person... I mean, would he want to get in touch with Robert again, if we could ever find him?
He might. And finding him, well, that shouldn't be a problem.
No?
He has a business in Chester, or had last time I looked. I imagine you could contact him through that.
When the men talk about the boss, they mean you.
All the more reason to make it official that I'm stepping down and you're the new MD. You run the place as it is.
Even so, you're the boss. When you decide to retire, OK, we'll do it then.
I said no.
Just a phone call to say...
And what else did Miriam tell you? That he was rolling in it, and so you thought, oh, let's be nice to him. He might put us in his will.
Say that again.
Well, why else?
You think I'm doing this because I'm after his money? Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. Because why should I care about you and the fact you might have a chance to get to know your own father? Oh, no, I don't care about that. I'm just after the cash.
Oh, no. Laura, come on. I'm sorry. All right. I'll ring him. Is that what you want? I'll ring him.
It's the firm's number. Best I could manage.
So I ring the firm. Then what?
Ask to speak to Mr. Sullivan. But only if you want to.
I want to.
Well, no, I don't think you do. You're doing it to keep me happy. And you know what? I think that's a really good reason. So let's go, shall we?
And if I do get through to him, then...
Tell him who you are and about your mother. See what he says.
Sullivan Furniture, how can I help?
I wonder, can I speak to Mr. Henry Sullivan, please?
I'll put you through to his office.
Thanks.
So he hasn't sold out. He's still there.
Look, I can't do this.
Yes, you can.
Bob Sullivan?
Sorry?
Bob Sullivan? Who am I speaking to, please?
I was wanting to speak to Henry Sullivan.
About what?
Well,
A personal matter.
it's a personal matter.
Well, I'm his son. Can I help at all?
His son.
Yes.
It's about his first wife, Peggy.
I think he's only ever had the one, but OK, yes.
She passed away 4 weeks ago, and I thought he should be informed.
Well, and that I should, I hope. This is my mother you're telling me about?
Sorry, Peggy was...
My mother, yes.
Well, no. Can't have been.
Look, who is this?
I'm a relative. Anyway, that's it. She died about 4 weeks ago. Bye. What the hell?
So, your father... I don't know. He must have had another son.
What, with the same mother? My mother?
Well, maybe she had two sons and never told you about the other one.
What, and you heard what he was called? Bob? When I'm Robert?
Yeah, but...
It was like I was talking to myself.
Malcolm, you know everything.
What I don't know is where that idea started.
Bob Sullivan, Family have a big furniture business in Chester.
Nice place. Used to go to the races.
What I want to know is how old he is, parents, anything really.
Did he say what she died of?
No.
And who was he again?
Said he was a relative. Sounded like he couldn't believe it when I told him who it was.
Because he hadn't heard you were back with your father.
Suppose.
And this news about your mother hasn't upset you, has it?
Well, we haven't been in touch since I was, 16 and left home, so I'm not sure what I'm feeling.
Malcolm, no. This can't be.
What in particular?
All of it. Date of birth, December 3rd, 1983, which would make him 30 years old. Father's name, Henry Sullivan. Mother, Peggy Mary Sullivan. Maiden name, Halliwell.
Why can't it?
Because it's the same dates, parents' names, everything. As somebody I know.
And does this somebody have the same name?
Almost.
Then is it not possible we're talking about the same person?
No, not even remotely possible.
Well then, you've got yourself a story. Bob Sullivan.
Mr. Sullivan, this is Laura Dayton. You don't know me, but I'm writing a book on the manufacture of British furniture throughout the 20th century.
Right.
And your firm is one I'd like to feature. I wondered, would it be possible to visit you and talk to you about this?
Can I ask what sort of book?
Yeah, it's about design, but also methods of manufacture. We're hoping it'll land on a few coffee tables, as well as in reference libraries. I want to highlight what makes British-made furniture great by focusing on some of the best of our manufacturers. I can explain more when we meet, if that's going to be possible.
Well, I don't see why not. When were you thinking?
She'll be back for 6-ish. What are you up to?
Nothing special.
And look, I know you think I should be jumping up and down, worrying about who that was I spoke to on the phone.
You jump up and down when you want to.
Maybe, like Miriam said, my mother did have secrets. Well, I'd like her to keep them.
I know.
Anyway, I better get going.
Fantastic office.
Well, we do make furniture, so...
It should be.
Well, it's actually my father's office. I only use it when I want to impress people. Would you like coffee?
No, I'm fine, thank you. So, your father's still the man in charge?
He's, let's say, semi-retired. Leaves the day-to-day stuff to me, but likes to be consulted.
Mm. And he's Mr. Henry Sullivan?
Yes.
And you're Robert?
Well, most call me Bob. OK, well, what I suggest is that we start with a quick tour of the factory. Then I mentioned to my father you were coming in, and he said he'd like to meet you himself. If...
Oh, that would be wonderful, yes.
Dad, this is Laura, who's writing the book I told you about. My father, Henry.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Yeah, and you've shown Laura...
Everything? She's had the full tour.
Which was really useful, thank you.
So can I leave you two to talk? Things I should be getting on with.
Like getting us 2 tickets. Huh?
For the one day. I'm on to it.
All right, Laura. Well, let's find somewhere more comfortable, shall we?
Founded 1895.
By my great-grandfather.
A family firm, then?
Oh, yes.
So Bob will take over from you?
He's pretty well done that already.
His destiny from birth, was it?
Yeah, not really. Tell you the truth, I thought I was going to be the last of the Sullivans. End of the line.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I knew I had a son, but his mother and I separated many years ago, and she'd taken him, so...
You didn't have any contact?
None. Then, 7 years ago, I was on my deathbed, so I thought. Yeah, with cancer. I got this notion I'd like to see my son again. So we made inquiries, found him, and... Well, he moved into the house, started work here. I'd say we're as close now as any father and son can be. Never mind, we had 20 years apart.
Oh, a story with a happy ending.
And to cap it, they put me on a new drug and I made a miraculous recovery.
Even better.
I sometimes think it wasn't the drug, but finding Bob that did it. But that's probably just me being sentimental.
When you started this search for your son...
My partner, the lady I live with, she did the donkey work. I was in no fit state. Oh, and in case you're wondering, we did insist on a DNA test.
Oh, so there can be absolutely no doubt.
Oh, not after that. No, I'd found my son and... well, he's someone I'm very proud of.
That was lovely. Thank you.
No, leave them. Have another drink. I've a confession to make, and you're not going to like it.
Go on.
I asked Malcolm...
Oh, who knows everything?
...to find out about your doppelganger.
Even though we said...
He's the same age as you, has the same birthday, and claims to have the same parents.
You're joking?
So then today, I went to Chester.
Oh, my...
I pretended I was writing a book about English furniture.
Well, good to know that you lie to other people as well as to me.
Yeah, but I don't mind lying to them.
So go on. What happened?
I met Bob.
Did he look like me?
Close enough. I even met your father, and he does look like you. Anyway, 7 years ago, he thought he was dying of cancer, decided he wanted to find his son, and found Bob.
Right.
Only the bit I don't get, they did a DNA test to make sure everything was hunky-dory, and the test said Bob was kosher.
Meaning I'm not?
Oh, don't say that.
Well, what am I supposed to say? How come there are two of us? I mean, if he's genuine, what does that make me?
Oh, don't get upset.
What? I'm supposed to be happy about all this? When you're telling me I'm not who I always thought I was?
I'm not telling you that.
It's what it amounts to.
No, I'm saying he's a fake. Has to be.
What? The DNA test says he isn't.
OK, listen. What I was thinking...
Which means what? What? My mother lied to me? Or she wasn't my mother? He's not my father. She's not my mother.
Listen.
I don't want to know.
Well, I do. Look, this is what I think we should do.
Henry Sullivan?
Mr. Sullivan, it's Laura Dayton. I don't know whether you remember...
Oh, of course I remember. How's the book coming along?
Oh, slowly. Only, you did say I was to ring you if I had any more questions.
I did.
I've actually got quite a few. I wonder if you could spare me some more of your time?
Right there. So anyway, I'm invited her here to the house, and she's coming on Saturday.
Do I know about this?
A woman writing a book about English furniture. Claims she is.
You don't believe her?
I did a few checks on her and on her book. Couldn't find a thing.
Really?
The publishers whose name she gave me, I've never even heard of her.
Well, I didn't know anything about all this, so I simply said yes. Do come along. Oh, and she said, could she bring her fiancé? So I said yes to that too.
Bring her fiancé? Why?
Well, company, I imagine.
You were how old when you and your mum left?
4. Or nearly 5.
So you must have some memories of the house.
How do we know it's the same one?
I checked with the land registry. Your father's lived there for over 40 years.
Right.
Maybe it'll all come flooding back when we see it.
You're trying to scare me?
No, of course I'm not. Hey, I can always go in on my own.
No, you can't. My doppelganger, my problem. So are we still pretending you're writing a book?
Oh, probably not.
Fine.
I just think, no more pretending. We tell them who we are and see what happens.
I remember this door.
Yes?
That stained glass. The way the light... Oh, this is so weird. Like I'm hallucinating.
Look, you go and sit in the car and I'll go in on my own.
No.
I'm such an idiot. I didn't stop to think what this would be like for you.
Neither did I.
OK, we don't either of us have to go in. We can just forget all about it.
No, we can't.
Hello. You must be Laura.
Yes.
I'm Elaine, Henry's partner.
Oh, hello. This is Robert, my fiancé.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, Robert. Do come in. Bob and his father are in the conservatory.
You sure I can't get you anything?
No, really.
We're fine, thanks.
So, here's some more questions for us.
Well, yes.
But not to do with furniture.
Well, not to do with...
No.
So then...
Well, first of all, Bob and Robert, OK, you two have never met before, but you have spoken on the phone.
What, should I remember?
Robert rang you, actually trying to speak to your father.
Oh, you were the relative.
I was.
Ringing to say my mother had died.
Actually ringing to say my mother had died. But
Sorry, I seem to be missing something here. Are you writing a book about furniture or not?
I'm not. I never was. I apologise for the deception.
Which you did because...
I suppose it was a way of getting to meet you.
Meet who, exactly?
Well, Bob and Henry.
Maybe I should say something here.
Well, let me say first. Robert didn't know anything about what I was doing. You want to blame somebody, blame me.
I'm still at a loss.
Me too.
OK, my turn. My name is Robert Sullivan, and whether it's true or not, I've been brought up believing that I was your son.
I see.
So when my mother died,
Peggy?
I rang to let you know.
Because I made him.
Then found that I was talking to Bob.
Yeah, and I said Peggy was my mother.
So I did some research and found that Bob's age and birthday are exactly the same as Robert's, which made us think, whoa, hang on, there's something not right.
And that's why we're here.
And we're expected to believe this?
Excuse me? We're the ones who find it difficult to believe.
We just thought it best. Get it all out in the open and try and understand what's happened.
Which is that you are mistaken.
Or you are. Somebody is.
Maybe there's been some mix-up, some mistake years ago.
But you're now here and you can see. My father, me, so yes, there's been a mistake and it's yours.
Oh, so you're saying that Robert doesn't know who he is?
I'm saying he's mistaken, yes.
What? His mother lied to him?
Laura,
well,
please.
This is what he's saying. Your mother lied to you, told you you were someone that you weren't.
Look, can I just get this clear? Now, Robert, you're saying your mother, Peggy Sullivan, brought you up telling you were my son?
Yes.
But not telling me. Like it was something we talked about every day. Look, the past was a painful subject
Yeah,
for
but
her.
all the same.
I grew up believing you were my father, yes.
How old are you?
30, and his birthday is December the 3rd.
Which proves what?
Not a lot, except this is some kind of scam. I think we should call the police.
Oh, do, yes. See what they make of it.
Please.
No, we're not calling anybody. Now, let's just all calm down.
Look, Dad, why don't you just leave me and Robert here? We'll talk about this.
I am quite
I
capable.
know, I just don't want you getting upset.
I'm not doing.
What you two may not have known when you were planning this charade is that there's been a DNA test.
Oh, I know you're going to say that proves everything.
Because it does.
It doesn't prove anything about Robert, though, does it?
Doesn't it?
No. OK. So you like DNA tests? Let's have another one. Take samples.
Laura.
Well,
Look, we haven't come here for this.
So what have you come for?
to try and establish the truth.
You've come into this house pretending to be someone you're not.
We're not pretending anything.
Weren't you writing a book?
Oh, I've said I'm sorry about that.
Everything you've said has been a lie. Henry, I really think you have good grounds for calling the police.
I may have, but I don't intend to.
Well, I don't...
Now, can I have a say, please? Thank you. Robert, you're telling us you once lived in this house.
I believe I did. Yes.
You remember being in here, in this conservatory?
Vaguely.
Strange, since it was only built 10 years ago.
Oh, please.
We had a dog. Do you remember?
A dog. Yeah, I think...
Do you remember his name?
I remember being scared of it, but not the name, no.
Same questions you asked me.
Christmas, we used to have a big Christmas tree. Now, where? What was special about it?
I think it was... Wasn't it in the hallway?
Well, I think anybody might have guessed that.
What made it special?
No, I can't.
It was undecorated. Grandad didn't like the idea of baubles and things, so we had a tree, but we didn't put anything on it.
Not very well prepared, are you?
I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
What was the first school you attended?
St. Joseph's Infants, something like that.
And your teacher's name?
No.
Sister Kevin.
OK, look, you've proved your point. I'm not who I think I am.
Hey, don't say that.
Well, I can't be, can I? I can't answer the questions.
Oh, so what does that prove?
That we're wasting our time.
Yes, I think you are.
Look, maybe your mother did tell you these
Yeah,
things.
and she was lying. Yeah, obviously. Right, come on, let's go.
What? Because you can't answer some trick questions?
Because I don't want to take this any further. OK? Look, you want to stay? You stay.
No, I'm coming.
Sorry, everybody. But don't worry.
Oh, who cares? It was like a game show. Every correct answer, you get a point.
But one thing I did remember, well, recognised.
What?
My father.
Really?
Obviously he's changed, he's a lot older, but...
But you
It was
recognised...
Dad. Yeah.
So you're agreeing with me? Bob's a fraud?
I'm agreeing with you, yes.
Then we've got to do something.
No. That's where I don't agree.
But you can't just...
I never wanted to get in touch. I never wanted to go there.
Stealing someone's identity is a crime.
So they've got away with it. I don't care. Forget it. If he was once my father...
Oh, you know he was.
OK. But he's not anymore.
Laura Dayton.
Laura, it's Henry Sullivan here.
Oh. Hello.
I wonder, could I speak to Robert?
Well, I'm at work at the moment, so...
Oh, I see. Well, could you perhaps ask him to ring me sometime?
He might not be too keen. Can I tell him what it's about?
And he rang you? It wasn't you ringing him?
Here, check the phone.
I believe you. And this was to say what?
That he wants to meet you. But this time, just the two of you.
Did he say why?
Can only be one reason, can't there? He recognised you, just like you recognised him. And he wants to get this sorted out. Anyway, he said he wasn't asking you to go back to the house.
Which I wouldn't, anyway.
He's going to take a hotel room in Manchester, and can you meet him there? He said he'd be extremely grateful if you'd agree.
You know what my mistake was? Meeting him in the first place. Because now he's a real person and not just this bogeyman my mother had painted.
That wasn't a mistake.
Feels like one.
He suggested tomorrow night. I told him to assume you'd be there unless I rang to say otherwise.
I should not be doing this. Why am I? Remind me.
Because he's your father.
Is that why? Yeah, OK.
Do you want me to go in with you?
I thought it had to be just me and him.
Hang on, this might be... Yep. He says, just to let you know, I'm in room 326. Looking forward to seeing you.
I don't even know what to call him. Hello, Mr. Sullivan. Hello, Dad.
Just... hello.
Hello. Yeah, right.
OK, last chance. Are you sure you don't want me to come along?
I'm a grown-up. I can walk into a hotel on my own.
Then I'll be in that pub over there.
Oh, I don't even know what I want to happen.
You don't have to. You just say hello and then let him do the talking.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you come up here? To the room.
Are you all right?
Look, can you come now?
Robert, what's happened?
Please, can you just...
Yeah, OK. I'm coming. I'm in the lift.
Yeah, listen, I should have warned you. Be prepared for a shock.
For God's sake, Robert, what's happened?
You'll see, just try and stay calm.
What is it?
Laura.
Are you OK?
No, I'm OK, but wait before you go in.
Just tell me.
James is dead.
What?
He's been killed. There's a load of blood as though someone's hit him with something. You don't have to go in if you don't want.
Oh, my hand.
Don't touch anything.
Oh my God.
You saw it looks like someone's hit him over the head.
Yeah.
I imagine with that bottle there. See?
Have you told anybody?
Well, not yet. Look, I thought I had to tell you first, because if you saw the police arriving and everything, you'd be wondering what the hell's happening.
So, when you got here, who let you in?
Nobody. The door was open.
OK, so you just walked in and then rang me. But I must have been in that pub for...
I know.
What? Best part of an hour?
After I left you, I went for a walk round. Long walk round. I even thought I wouldn't even come up here, just pretend that I had.
Yeah, so you've been in this room
but 10 minutes max.
OK, but look, we better ring the police now. Or shall we just let the hotel know? They can do it.
Whichever. Listen, you do believe me that I went for a walk round before I came here?
Don't be silly, of course I do. Hello, is that reception?
The deceased is your father?
Well...
It's complicated.
I believe I'm his son, yes. but we haven't been in touch for ages.
And now it turns out there's another son, so...
The idea was we were going to meet and talk about this whole thing.
And he was in the room when you arrived?
Yes.
As you approached the room, did you see anyone else?
No.
Or hear anything?
No.
Can I just say, Inspector, I think Robert's father was about to tell him he believed Robert really was his son.
We don't know.
Well, why else did he want to...
To tell me the opposite.
No.
But it was going to be one or the other?
I think so, yes. And I think whoever killed him was trying to stop him saying it.
And just who do you think that might be?
She doesn't know.
Well, there are two sons. One's here. If I were you, I'd want to know...
35. Present are Detective Inspector Pine, Detective Constable Rich and Robert Sullivan. For the record, Mr. Sullivan, can you confirm you have been offered legal representation but have refused it?
I can, yes.
Mr. Sullivan, what is your relationship to the deceased?
I believe I'm his son.
But not everybody agrees with you?
No.
Where were you at 8 o'clock last night?
The Deansgate Hotel, Manchester.
What were you doing there?
I was supposed to be meeting my father.
And the purpose of this meeting?
Never know. Will I?
You must have some idea.
I thought he was going to tell me whether he believed I was his son or not.
I understand a DNA test established that the other Robert Sullivan was his son.
Well, I know they're saying that.
Which
but...
suggests Mr. Henry Sullivan was going to tell you you were the one who was mistaken. Perhaps even threaten legal consequences if you didn't stop bothering him.
It's possible.
Was that why you killed him? When he said that?
Look, I've said I didn't even get
He told you you weren't his son, you couldn't be, and threatened you with legal action if you persisted in these claims.
Well, no, because he was dead when I entered the room.
We know it's what he was planning on saying. His partner and his son have both confirmed this. So you knew he was meeting this gentleman tonight?
Yeah.
He told us he was, and told us why, which was to insist that this farce came to an end, and... Oh dear, no. I can't believe it.
He was in no doubt you're his real son.
Why would he be? It's what I am.
So then, this fake, this pretender, went and murdered him.
You were upset, yes? Angry. Was that when you picked up the empty bottle and hit him with it?
Oh, for God's sake.
Because you believed this was your father who was denying you, telling you he didn't want to know you. Of course you were angry.
You again.
What have you told the police?
Everything I could.
And you know, because of that, an innocent man is facing a charge of murder.
And do you know that this is a house in mourning?
But then I suppose you want Robert locked up. You want him out of the way because he's living proof that you're a fraud.
You want to come in?
Yes, I do.
Your girlfriend claimed she was writing a book. Was she?
No.
So why say it?
As a way of getting to meet these people.
You asked her to?
No.
So this notion of claiming to be Henry Sullivan's son and heir, that was her idea, was it?
It wasn't anybody's idea.
Or did you think it up together?
Nobody thought it up. It's just what I've always believed.
But then that plan didn't work, because your information was out of date. You didn't know the real son had returned, did you?
He's not the real son.
Must have been quite a shock.
It was,
The
yeah.
real son already there, DNA tested. So nobody was going to listen to you and your girlfriend, were they? Let's stop messing about, Robert. You killed Henry Sullivan, didn't you? You were there. The only one there. You're not denying that?
Not denying it, no.
Well then, you killed him. Yes?
I did. Yes.
Robert's been arrested.
I didn't know that.
Because of what you told them.
Which was the truth. I just told them everything that's happened. Look, I'm sorry. I really am sorry for all of this.
You can't want an innocent man.
Oh, you know he's innocent. You know.
Yes, I do. Why would he kill a man he thought was his own father?
Well, I imagine because my father didn't agree. Which was why he'd arranged to see him, to tell him that all this had to stop.
And you know that's what Henry was going to say.
Yes.
He told you.
He told Elaine, and then she told me. Oh, God, I should have gone with him. I should have looked after him, and I didn't. You hit him repeatedly.
No.
With the bottle.
I didn't touch any bottle. You're not listening.
Oh, we're listening, Robert. You said you killed him.
By doing what I did. By turning up in his life. If I hadn't, then he wouldn't have been at that hotel and none of this would have happened.
You're a fraud, aren't you?
No.
You're not Henry's son.
Yes, I am.
And are you going to say that in court? When you're going to have to swear to be telling the truth?
Oh, why should I have to?
Well, if they're going to charge Robert and there's going to be a trial, of course you're going to have to.
No.
And anyway, the police will have investigated. They're going to find out the truth. There's no way you can keep on getting away with this.
But I only...
Only what? Come on, you might as well tell me. It's all going to come out anyway.
Please, stop. Just stop.
Well, I might, but the police aren't going to. It's all going to come out. You can't stop it.
I only wanted to help.
Help? Help who?
Elaine, to begin with. And I was in debt. Head over heels in debt. Amounts I could never repay.
And what? Elaine offered you money?
Yes.
If you'd pretend to be Henry's son?
Yes.
Go on.
She said he was dying. And he wanted to see his son. So all I had to do was answer a few questions that she'd give me all the answers to. And anyway, I'd be helping him because it would make him happy, thinking he'd found his son. But then it didn't turn out like that.
Because he recovered?
Yes.
So you had to carry on pretending?
Only after a while it didn't seem like pretending. See, I'd never had a father. Or much of a mother for that matter, so this being here, it was like there was this family that I was part of. So then it wasn't pretending.
No.
Henry was... all right, not my father, but he was a father to me. And I tried to be a son to him. And I think I was.
I'm sure you were.
Only now he's dead.
Why did Elaine ask you to do all this? Instead of looking for the real son?
She said all sorts, but... money.
Yeah?
She was frightened that if the real son came along, Henry would leave everything to him and she'd get nothing. Where I had to agree anything I inherited, I'd share with her. All pretty sordid it sounds now, doesn't it?
And what about this DNA test?
Oh, she fixed that. As well as coaching me on what to say, and poor Dad, he was wanting to believe it. He was desperate to believe I was his son, and... well, that's what I turned myself into.
And just what is this, may I ask?
We've got a visitor.
Today of all days. Don't you think you've caused enough trouble?
Oh, I think you'll find I've barely started.
And just
I've told her.
Told her?
About me, us, what we did, which soon everyone will know, so let's just get used to it, shall we?
You've told her?
About our little plan, how we fooled Dad, yes.
You fool, you stupid...
Yes, well, I'm not as good at lying as you.
You've done well enough for the past 7 years.
And you know why? Because I believed it. I was his son, I was, but I'm not going to stand up in court and lie.
And who says you'll have to?
Elaine, Dad's been murdered.
Yes.
Because of what we've done.
Well, you might have done. You fooled him. Yes, like you fooled me.
What?
When you turned up here, I believed, just as Henry did.
You got me here. It was your plan.
I think you'll find that's hard to prove.
You persuaded me.
Can you prove that? I don't think so.
I did it for you.
You did it for money.
Oh, and you didn't.
No.
Look, yes or no, that was 7 years ago. What happened last night? Which of you killed him?
Why did you go to the hotel?
Curiosity. I wondered what he was going to say.
Which was?
Nothing. He was dead when I got there.
He told you he didn't believe your claims, and that's why you killed him.
Henry believed Robert.
No.
Which meant that you were going to be exposed, the pair of you. And so you had to kill him.
And you think you can prove any of that?
I think I can, yes.
Be quiet. Can't you see you're just playing into her hands?
You killed him, didn't you? You killed my father.
No. And anyway, let's not forget, he was never your father.
Yes, he was. And I loved him while you just wanted him for the money, you evil...
No!
And now I'm going to kill you!
Bob, no! Get off her! Let go! Wow, but I managed to drag him off. Then he just broke down and started crying.
They've charged her with murder. Found a witness who saw her at the hotel. There's, forensic evidence as well.
She knew he was going to accept you as his son, and so she'd lost everything.
Followed him and tried to talk him out of it.
But couldn't, so she ended up killing him.
Poor man.
Then tried to frame you. Which she might well have done if it hadn't been for...
My doppelganger. The other son.
Who I imagine will be facing charges of his own.
He's the one I feel sorry for.
Robert, he stole your identity.
In a good cause.
What good cause?
He gave my father the son that he was searching for.
But not his real son.
Real enough.
He was a fraud.
Nah. I'm the fraud. I'm the one pretending.
You are his son by birth.
And Bob was his son by choice. Who ended up loving him. Well, I didn't even want to know him. All I did was spoil the family he had. I'm the imposter. I've been all along.